Do you want to keep it going for another 5 years? Yeah, you would say Pocahontas says yes.
President Donald Trump's first speech to Congress since returning to office celebrated his first 43 days and attempted to explain his actions to the American public. Regarding tariffs, government reductions, and international affairs, Trump has made significant decisions that have angered Democrats and raised doubts among some Republicans, while foreign nations have struggled to respond. His objective on Tuesday was to explain. The president also used his speech to criticize his opponents, blame his predecessor, and revisit previous grievances. Trump arrived in the chamber prepared with many remarks. His speech became the longest annual presidential address to Congress in modern history, lasting just under 1 hour and 40 minutes. It was also one of the most divisive, lacking the traditional appeals for unity.
This is my 5th such speech to Congress. And once again, I look at the Democrats in front of me, and I realize there is absolutely nothing I can say to make them happy, or to make them stand, or smile, or applaud. Nothing I can do.
He remarked, portraying his opposition as beyond persuasion. The intense atmosphere extended to the audience when Democratic Representative Al Green repeatedly interrupted the president before House Speaker Mike Johnson ordered the sergeant-at-arms to remove the Texas congressman.
Remove this gentleman from the chamber.
The president made little effort to ease tensions, frequently reprimanding Democrats for not assisting in advancing his agenda.
Do you want to keep it going for another 5 years? Yeah, you would say Pocahontas says yes.
Throughout his address, Trump focused on cultural issues that energize his supporters, vowing to eliminate wokeness from society and emphasizing some of his most controversial executive actions.
Because we're getting wokeness out of our schools and out of our military, and it's already out, and it's out of our society. We don't want it. Wokeness is trouble. Wokeness is bad. It's gone. It's gone.
He criticized what he sees as the unfairness of affirmative action and highlighted his initiatives to reverse policies on transgender rights and diversity programs.
I signed an executive order banning public schools from indoctrinating our children with transgender ideology. I also signed an order to cut off all taxpayer funding to any institution that engages in the sexual mutilation of our youth.
Trump used guests in the First Lady's box to illustrate his points, including female athletes, parents of children killed by undocumented immigrants, and a mother who claimed her daughter had been secretly socially transitioned at school. Trump framed these efforts as part of his common sense revolution.
What I have just described is only a small fraction of the common sense revolution that is now, because of us, sweeping the entire world. Common sense has become a common theme, and we will never go back. Never going to let that happen.
Though the topic seemed mainly intended to appeal to his supporters, he highlighted Elon Musk, the billionaire leading his government efficiency initiative, who was present in the gallery.
Thank you, Elon. He's working very hard. He didn't need this. He didn't need this. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. Everybody here, even this side, appreciates it, I believe. They just don't want to admit that.
He said while gesturing toward Democrats. Later, Trump listed programs whose budgets were reduced by Musk's Department of Government Efficiency, falsely labeling them as fraudulent.
We found hundreds of billions of dollars of fraud. And we've taken back the money and reduced our debt to fight inflation and other things.
He also repeated debunked claims that deceased Americans were receiving Social Security benefits.
We're also identifying shocking levels of incompetence and probable fraud in the Social Security program for our seniors, and that our seniors and people that we love rely on. Believe it or not, government databases list 4.7 million Social Security members from people aged 100 to 109 years old.
Trump, who has supported tariffs since the 1970s and once called tariff his favorite word, remained steadfast in his stance during his major address.
And whatever they tariff us, other countries, we will tariff them. That's reciprocal, back and forth. Whatever they tax us, we will tax them. We will take in trillions and trillions of dollars and create jobs like we have never seen before.
Trump provided few specifics and encouraged farmers to have a lot of fun selling their products domestically.
$50 billion of purchases, and we were doing great, but Biden did not enforce it, and it hurt our farmers. But our farmers are going to have a field day right now. So to our farmers, have a lot of fun. I love you too. I love you too. It's all going to happen.
However, he insisted that tariffs would strengthen the economy, even as he acknowledged the potential for short-term challenges.
Tariffs are about making America rich again and making America great again, and it's happening, and it will happen rather quickly. There'll be a little disturbance, but we're okay with that. It won't be much. No, you're not. Oh.
Trump could not ignore the issue that has dominated the past week, the war in Ukraine.
I'm also working tirelessly to end the savage conflict in Ukraine. Millions of Ukrainians and Russians have been needlessly killed or wounded in this horrific and brutal conflict with no end in sight. The United States has sent hundreds of billions of dollars to support Ukraine's defense with no security, with no anything.
At one point, Trump had intended to announce a rare earth minerals agreement with Ukraine during his speech.
Regarding the agreement on minerals and security, Ukraine is ready to sign it at any time that is convenient for you. I appreciate that he sent this letter, just got it a little while ago. Simultaneously, we've had serious discussions with Russia and have received strong signals that they are ready for peace.
His speech on Tuesday continued this trend. According to excerpts of the speech, he mentioned Biden's name 12 times and referenced his administration 4 additional times. He accused Biden of being responsible for issues ranging from high egg prices to excessive aid for Ukraine.
Joe Biden especially let the price of eggs get out of control. The egg price is out of control.
Trump declared.
As you know, we inherited from the last administration an economic catastrophe and an inflation nightmare.
Later, when discussing attempts to pass a border security bill last year, Trump argued that new legislation was unnecessary, stating,
"The media and our friends in the Democrat Party kept saying we needed new legislation, we must have legislation to secure the border. But it turned out that all we really needed was a new president." Joe Biden didn't just open our borders, he flew illegal aliens over them to overwhelm our schools, hospitals, and communities throughout the country. Entire towns like Aurora, Colorado, and Springfield, Ohio, buckled under the weight of the migrant occupation and corruption like nobody's ever seen before. Beautiful towns destroyed.